Welcome to Gregorian Chat.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are on our first ever podcast with Miss Gerando.
Yeah, Durando, as my mom's car said.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So we're doing this podcast. Yeah, welcome to Gregorian Chat. This will be like our third episode of the year. Last year we did 40 episodes,
Wow.
and that was our first year, so hopefully we'll do more this year. So, but we've added Shana to the team because Dom started teaching, and it takes a lot of time being a teacher.
It doesn't take a lot of time to be a chaplain.
No, it does, but just in different areas.
Yeah.
We don't have to officially plan anything, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have more time for stuff like this, I guess. Anyway, today we're just drinking normal tea, because we're very disorganized, and so it's also quite, cold. Actually, should I close that window?
Yeah.
Because it's taken us about half an hour to set up the gear. Because this is the first time I've set it up without Dom.
Do we just keep going down?
All the way down.
Oh my gosh. The strength it takes.
But straight into it, we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be debunking creativity.
Yes.
If that title doesn't confuse you, wait till you get to the podcast, because as usual, we just have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to recently, Shana?
I just started this new job. It's really cool. Got really great workmates, and yeah, just been chilling out.
Yeah?
And working and doing some music stuff
Mm-hmm.
and making my debut in the podcast world right this moment.
Yeah. Have we not had you in the podcast before?
Nah.
No, well there we
No.
go. That was missed that trick.
I mean, yeah, I was a little bit sad about it, but it's okay. We got here in the end, just kidding.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you, Dom?
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
I've been teaching you how to be a chaplain.
Yeah, he's been really good. He's been teaching me how to play yellow card and flipping egg, bro. Like without my consent, so...
Well, that's how it all starts. That's how it all starts.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, getting into the topic,
Mhm.
I've noticed we haven't got the timer on. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Again, this is
You know what? This is creative.
Oh, don't start me. So, since the beginning of this year, working with Shana, we've been talking about this idea of creativity, and it's winds me up because I feel, whenever people talk about creativity, it makes me feel more and more like, actually, I'm not creative.
Mm.
I'm not creative. But then I also kind of think I am until I start talking to someone who is creative, because they talk about it in this like kind of ethereal, kind of conceptual way, which some people are creative and other people just aren't.
Yeah.
And I guess, and then we talked to Father Chris.
Yeah.
And I guess from what we learned from that, it's like some people, you can be uncreative.
Mm.
It is possible. But it's easier to be creative.
Yeah,
Like
I'm creative.
Well, it's easy to be creative. It's easy to actually just like being creative because compared to how it's conceptualized by these creative people, it's like just be creative. And it's just going into the world and it's no definition and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that doesn't help me whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like that idea of, because we're called to create, like all of us, every single one of us, but because God created, and so yeah, we're trying to debunk that thing that creativity is only for the select group of people.
Yeah, that have this superpower
Yeah.
that they just got from God, which it is a gift from God,
Yeah.
but everybody has it. Yeah, and we're like, what Father Chris, we're like, what, sub-creators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Catholic creatives call it, we're co-creators because we create with God. We don't create out of nothing. We've been given stuff to create with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the same thing as that sub-creators. Like God, because God is the creator, and we get to participate in that creation, which is really cool, And like, and I suppose like to a point like with, women, they get to participate more so in the creation of life because of, they've got wombs and stuff. They just got the womb to do it. So they, that's one type of creation, but I guess again that doesn't really fit in. I guess it kind of fits in to this definition that we were given by Father Chris, is that to create is, correct me if I'm wrong, Shana, it's an expression of the uniqueness of the human person.
Yeah.
Expression of the uniqueness of the human person. Creation is the expression of the human person.
Yeah. And so creativity is kind of the process in which that is, I don't know, it's something practical. It doesn't have to be a tangible thing that is expressed. It can be words, it can be a song, it could be a sandwich.
Yeah, I create great sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I think what we often do is we say, creativity is, and you go straight to art. So you think creativity, you think of a canvas that needs to be painted. Now, I'm not a painter.
Neither am I, actually. Yeah.
But I am a sandwich artiste. And that's what they call people who work at Subway.
Yeah, well, he was really good at, when we went to Cam's house.
Oh, right. Making a salad.
Blue mind, man.
Blue Shana's mind.
He just was like, we went into the shops and he's like, we could do a normal sandwich or we can make a salad and put it in bread. And I was like, whoa. Didn't even call it a sandwich. I mean, it was a sandwich, but...
And what I did in there is I tuned into my inner chakra.
Yeah.
And I think it is, I like this idea of it being a expression of the uniqueness of the human person. Because before we talked to Father Chris, what did you think of when you thought of creativity?
It's hard not to think. But we talked about it a lot. I know, I was just super confused as to what creativity was. I couldn't actually pin it down.
Well, you started the Catholic creative community.
Yeah, well, see, that was just prompting, man. I just did it because I got told to do it by Jesus. But yeah, I think I've been thinking a lot about it, and that's why it kind of came up when I started working here. I was grappling with this question of what is creativity, what does it mean to be creative, especially Catholic creative, and so, yeah. And then you just ask Father Chris and he just drops it. And
well, he doesn't just drop it, he explains and just destroys everything you ever once thought.
Yeah, because what did you think creativity was?
Well, I had this, I was very much of this mindset that creativity is, it's almost ignoring any kind of structure and doing something that's completely freestyle. And that just doesn't resonate with me, it doesn't make sense. And because Bishop Barron talks about freedom, and he says being truly free, first you must be limited, you must be caged in by something. And he talks about Michael Jordan, how he's an amazing basketball player, but he didn't get there just by throwing a ball, he did training. And he talks about Shakespeare, about how he can make you laugh, he can make you sing, he can make you cry, he can make you angry. But he didn't just do that by grabbing a pen and scribbling on a piece of paper until all of a sudden something happened. He disciplined himself. He learned, vocabulary and all these things. And that, he essentially went to school and learned English, and excelled in it. And then he used those things to create something. So creativity was presented to me as kind of the idea of Shakespeare grabbed a pen and just started writing and seeing what would happen. But I guess I've come to learn that creativity is not going without structure, but doing different things within structure. Like I was telling you about Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. I was watching this video about how he wrote it, and he was there with the guys that he wrote it with. They were saying the interesting thing about the song is the beat is the lyrics, and everything else is oh wow, that is really creative. But what it isn't is disregarding structure. Right. It's using structure in a different way. That is creative, and that is creativity. Yeah. But then Father Chris was saying that almost everything is creative. Almost everything.
We found out sleeping is not.
Well, we didn't find that out.
It's just true.
It's just true. Sleeping is not being creative, alright? You? No. But like, you know, so, because I asked all the kids, like, I said, so pretty much everything we do is creative. And he said, no. You're itchy, you scratch it. That's not creative.
Yeah.
You know, that's
responding.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
it's with me.
being passive. That's like an animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that expression. So something physical,
Yeah.
but not necessarily practical.
No, practical but not necessarily physical.
Oh.
So it can be like.
Oh, right, practical but not necessarily.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, practical but not necessarily physical.
Yeah.
Expressing something of the uniqueness of the
Yeah.
person.
So you were saying that so we were talking about it, and so in this creative like community thing, we do this thing where we're like, what are you working on today? And like some people say, oh, I did something with photography or painting, and then Dom was like, well, what do I say? Because my like, even though he's like an awesome photographer, he doesn't want to say anything, but he thinks, you know, his creativity is with people and how he can create order out of chaos, which is, I think, it's creative. That's his creativity, and so you can't really like write it out on a, you know.
Yeah, you can't say, you know, what project are you working on? It's
I'm
like,
just creating order.
it's like, yeah, I just started this piece of art. Here's the sketches. You know, it's like I can't take a photograph of. I called a bunch of people today, to start getting together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that might be like that's an expression of your uniqueness. So that could be something that's like within you. You like to make.
Yes, and I think and like, you know, that expression of who I am.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's being around people.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big part of who I am.
Mm.
And it's like, whereas you know, I do play, I know I can play guitar and I do sing, and it's like it's not something that like. It's not like an endeavor of mine. It's something.
Right.
It's just like something I do, and but the thing is, that doesn't mean it's not like because I was thinking like, okay, my creativity is organizing events with people, but actually, me playing guitar is also my creativity.
Yeah.
Because what creativity actually is a tool.
Yeah.
Like a hammer. It's like you take a hammer and you nail in a bunch of nails to build something. That's the hammer's what made you do it. If you take a hammer and you start beating a piece of wood and you make a sculpture out of it, that's like, oh well, that's amazing. You use that tool to do this. If you take a hammer and you tenderize some meat, so then you can, it's like, oh wow, you're using this tool for all sorts of things. So like, in a sense, creativity is both everything and nothing. It's just a thing. So it's neither good nor bad, but it can be both.
Yeah, it can be disordered. So we can use the hammer to like hit someone's face, and that's so creativity, but it's not actually.
Well, it's still the hammer. It's not.
It's still the hammer. Yeah,
hitting
it's still the
someone in
hammer.
the face isn't creativity.
That's right. Sorry, it's the hammer.
Or is it? It's an expression of the uniqueness of the person, hating the person.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we told you we're gonna get confused through this podcast. But...
All right. Well, because I mean, the good example is like the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
That is creative. Very creative. Or like, you know, my father Chris, as he always talks about, is torturing animals. He doesn't always talk about torturing animals. He's just got a sick sense of humour. So like, and the other thing is like, that's using, you know, you can do it in a creative way. So you're using creativity. So then when you think of it like that way, it's like creativity steps away from being this kind of like superpower that some people have, and starts being this thing that everyone has that sometimes you can use. It's like, will I use my powers for good or for evil?
Right.
And it's like, because like you may be like a policeman and you hear about this guy that tortured animals as a kid or something, like, it's like, that's disgusting. But you know what? I wouldn't have thought about doing it that way. You take a step back, you know, and like, you know, it's like Hitler, really creative guy.
Yeah.
You know, he managed to, you know, commit mass genocide really efficiently. You know, he created that. Not a good thing.
No.
So we talk about be creative. It was like as if it's like I feel some people talk about it as if it's kind of like superpower.
Yeah.
It's like engage with your inner creativity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's something that we've all got. It's like a gift, right?
Yeah.
We've all got. We can use for good or for evil. It's what did Father Chris say? It's unalloyed.
Unalloyed good.
Unalloyed. Yeah.
It's not an unalloyed good, which means it's not always good. It's like not good on its own. I don't know what it means. Ask Father Chris. Anyway, so yeah, it's not a good on its own.
Yeah.
He said, he also said something cool. It's like, it is, because I feel also it's like sometimes when people talking about creativity, it's like, if you're not being creative, you're not living. And I was like, well, and then again, if I'm perceiving creativity as doing a piece of art, and I'm not doing art, and I'm not living, and everyone has to do art in order to live, and it's stressing me out, man. It's stressing me out. So it's like, but Father Chris said it's like, it is a part of living fully, but it is not the sole part. So like, if you are using your creativity in finance, you know, in organization, in art, in music, then if you're using your creativity, then you are living a fuller life. But if you're not using your creativity, you could still be living a very full life. Just not in the creative place.
And I guess going with that as well, like you said, you can use your creativity in finance or whatever. It's like he was talking about Dom was saying that we shouldn't confuse creativity with art, because he said you can use your creativity with art, but that doesn't mean art is creative. Like, it's not a synonym. Like,
yes, yeah.
Which is I think where I got like mixed up when we were talking before.
Yeah, and I think it's such an easy trap to fall into when talking about this topic. It's like, you know, because it just seems so, like, they seem so connected.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we're talking about the guy who writes songs for Taylor Swift.
Max Martin.
He's using his creativity to make money.
Yeah.
Now, you know, he's got an algorithm of how to make a successful song, and that algorithm has been created.
Right.
So it's created, and from that algorithm, more things have been created. Therefore, they're all creative. But is it like, you know, you're saying it's got like on a soul almost, but it still has that expression of a uniqueness of a person in it, because it can't not, because a person's done it. But like, maybe is it wasted creativity? Maybe. Like, actually, Father was talking about like Picasso and Salvador Dali, and he's saying Picasso, like, amazing painter, but he was wasted. Like, most of his stuff was just wasted because it wasn't creative. It was creativity, but it was like almost creativity for the wrong purpose. It's not that the creativity was wrong. It's just that it could have had so much more. Like this Max Martin guy is like, he's making heaps of money, and it's like, it's good that he's making heaps of money. We should make money. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And he's using his creativity to do so. But couldn't his creativity be put to better use?
Or that, like, why is making money like the sole purpose, and therefore like anything can kind of go. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Just a lot of stuff, man.
It's a lot of stuff, and yeah. So I think, you know, how do we address this as Catholics? I guess we look at our creativity and it's like, how can we put it to the best use?
Yeah. Father Chris was saying how we're going to, you know, at the end of our lives, we're going to be facing God and say, you know, like, we're going to answer to him, are we happy with what we've done with our creativity on earth? Like, did we put it to best use? Whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and also I just want to encourage people, like, if you're not good at art and music and stuff, you know, it doesn't mean you're not creative. You might be great. You might be great at just, like, you know, talking to people, finding solutions to problems, and you know, think about it. It was like, what is your creativity, or what is the area that you're passionate about?
Or what do you do that you can be creative with? If creativity is your tool, right? If it's just like something that's, you know, what can you, like, how can you live a more creative life? Meaning, how can you more, like, express the uniqueness of you?
Yeah.
Whether it be making a sandwich or.
Yeah, and don't just try and do things that are weird, like, and then say therefore it's creative. But try to do things that are, you know, they just come naturally to you.
Yeah.
And if that is purely just doing covers of songs, by all means.
Yeah.
If it's writing your own song, great. If it's, you know, being able to raise a family. I mean, parents are probably some of the most creative people on the planet.
Totally.
If it's just being able to, you know, sit and listen to somebody and help them come to a solution to problems. If it's be able to, you know, be a great accountant, you know, use your creativity and use it well. Hey guys, thanks for watching the podcast. I've got good news. It just got a whole lot easier to search for us online.
All you got to do is search Gregorian Chat into YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, and Player FM for those who are on Android.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. See you later. God bless.